After all this time of waiting, it's finally here. They've unleashed Dogma on 4K UHD. Look at it. It's beautiful. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Hey movie junkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we always here celebrating the magic of movies and physical media with you. That's right, today we're taking a look at, in my personal opinion, Kevin Smith's masterpiece, Dogma. And as we all know, Dogma has been out of print for well over a decade. And us fans of the film have been waiting patiently for Dogma not to just have a reissued Blu-ray, but a 4K. Well, December of last year, the physical media gods have shined upon us once again, giving Dogma a long last on 4K UHD, with Kevin Smith and Lionsgate going all in, giving Dogma the royal 4K treatment. With a 4K restoration from the original 35mm negative, forming a 4K DI with HDR grading, and retains the film's original theatrical ratio of 2:3:9:1. The 4K scan also includes a remixed Dolby Atmos track that we're definitely going to be taking a closer look at later in this review. Now, Lionsgate also released Dogma in this standard edition. What's up? And also this limited edition steelbook that's exclusive to only the Lionsgate Limited website, that also includes an exclusive booklet that's only available with this steelbook. Alright guys, so let's take a closer look at Dogma on 4K UHD against a 2008 Blu-ray, and let's see if this 4K is really worth the upgrade. And also stay tuned after the review for a very brief rundown of some new bonus material and a closer look at the exclusive booklet. Dogma on 4K is a striking upgrade over the 2008 Blu-ray. Right off the bat, with the classic white title cards against a black background, there is notable improvements here with the black levels. I mean, you can clearly see this yourself. The black levels are washed out. They look bright black on the Blu-ray. The 4K restoration now has striking black levels and deep shadows, eliminated those bright washed out blacks, and also some crushing that plagued the 2008 Blu-ray. The HDR10 grading naturally pushes the black levels and shadows even further, manifesting in inky, deeper blacks. And this really improves night scenes or dimly lit scenes, where shadow detail is significantly better than the 2008 Blu-ray. The overall color palette is stunning. Colors now fully flourish with much more nuances and depth, unlike the 2008 Blu-ray, where the color palette looks very soft and muted, and offers significantly bolder, brighter, and more vividness with extra depth and nuances within the colors, breathing newfound life back into the image that really pops, while colors also stay natural. The saturation also benefits with this 4K and the HDR10 grading, and does a terrific job of balancing the lifelike tones. The better use of the saturation illuminates a very nice pleasant warmth now across the image, that also renders skin tones accurately, looking naturally warm. Unlike the 2008 Blu-ray, where the skin tones lean more towards a palish look. The improved saturation also never looks artificially applied or overtly hot. The contrast here on this 4K has been given considerable care and has the perfect balance now between light and darkness, yielding accurate light levels that also helps in improving the color timing and giving the film more three-dimensionality that was very largely absent on the 2008 Blu-ray. Dogma's 4K image marks a significant milestone, elevating the film to a much higher level of detail, clarity, and visual tangibility, while effectively resolving shortcomings of the 2008 Blu-ray that also suffered from heavy compression artifacts and a lot of softness, especially under low light. The 4K scan has done a tremendous job cleaning the negative, preserving the inherent qualities from the production baked into the negative. And there are no compression artifacts to be found here. Dogma delivers a striking amount of texture pulled from the negative that looks very stable and refreshed. The jump in resolution renders cleaner, finer lines, giving way to the absolute sharpest and clearest image possible. And this also gives the 4K a much better sense of realism to the film that was absent on a 2008 Blu-ray. One of the highlights of this 4K though is near the end when Bartleby wreaks havoc at the church. It now reveals all the makeup effects and the carnage that litters the street. The violent aftermath looks more graphic in detail, and makeup effects just looks remarkable. And again, this was without the use of digital enhancement or manipulative processing done. The bitrate is likewise as impressive on this 4K, staying in the high 80s to the high 90s, and I even saw it peak at 108 Mbps. And Dogma 4K UHD is on a 100 gigabyte disc. The 4K restoration also retained a natural and tight 35mm grain structure. This was largely absent on the 2008 Blu-ray, where a lot of DNR scrubbing was used, where skin textures looked slightly waxy or slightly a polished look, and the image just overall looked overly processed in some areas. The 4K scan gives the film back its authentic look, reinforcing the film's original organic filmic appearance with a very nice organic 35mm grain field. Alright, now let's dive in and talk about the audio presentation of this 4K, and Dogma includes 2 audio tracks, a DTS stereo mix, and also a newly remixed Dolby Atmos track that is derived from the original audio elements from the negative, and is a vast improvement over the Dolby True 5.1 mix from the 2008 Blu-ray. The first area I wanted to point out with this new mix is that the new mix aims to only expand on the original elements rather than trying to reinvent them with modern elements, meaning that no modern day sound effects have been added into this Dolby Atmos mix. Also, the Dolby Atmos mix adds more vertical space in a way that respects the film's origins with a very cinematic experience. This Atmos track brings a surprising amount of width, energy, and atmosphere that's far more immersive and dynamic than the previous 5.1 mix on the 2008 Blu-ray, where the surround effects are much more enveloping, putting you straight in the middle of the action. High channels kick in and are carefully placed overhead without ever sounding aggressive or overwhelming. And one area was impressive, and that's the finale of the film as Bartleby flies in the sky and dropping bodies to the ground. You hear a lot of thuds and him flying overhead. The action also gracefully glides from the surrounds to the overhead, and the film's score spreads much more evenly, filling the discrete channels. Then the 2008 5.1 mix. This has some outstanding bass rumbles and thuds that gives the film some really nice weight and heft to it. And the Atmos mix significantly improves the vocals without sacrificing the authenticity. And also, music and sound effects never overpower the dialogue. Guys, Lionsgate has done it again with the long-awaited release of Dogma on 4K UHD with impressive and significant video and audio presentation, making this an immediate upgrade. And after watching this 4K, I quickly marked this down high on the list for a demo reference-worthy disc. But now jump over to the comment section and let me know, when you look at the differences between the two formats, the 2008 Blu-ray and the 4K UHD, which do you think looks better? Or do you see much difference at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright guys, well thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes here as we dive in and take a closer look at Dogma on 4K UHD against the 2008 Blu-ray. As always guys, keep physical media alive and stay tuned for more 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons.
Presents 4K versus Blu-ray comparison.